We're back. We're back. Let me put my shoulders on, right? Let me put my shoulders on. Cause we're back. Turn George down a lot. Let me turn George down a lot. Cause I got my own song these days. Hey y'all. Welcome. 8:05, right? Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Happy Valentine's Day from the Lightroom. Check in, check in, check in, check in. Y'all see my earrings? My earrings say black men are dope. Happy Black History Month, okay? Happy Black History Month. Because black men are dope. Come on in, check in with your green hearts. Let me know you're here. My mama's here, of course. Welcome on in here. It's the Valentine's Day edition of the Lightroom. We're back, 2023. I missed y'all. I be missing y'all. I gotta get adjusted to this bi-weekly thing because 2 weeks be seeming like forever. But we're gonna make it do what it do. We're gonna make it do what it do. All right. So check in with your green hearts. Come on in. We got some stuff we need to talk about, and I want to talk about it with y'all in here. Go ahead and share the live. Share the live in your family group. Share the live in your friend group. Go ahead and share it in your messenger groups. Share the lives everywhere this conversation needs to be. And this conversation needs to be everywhere. Listen, tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and it never fails. Every year, somebody forget that the same date comes every year, right? My guest is already here, and I'm not going to bring her into a room, and y'all not here. So let's go. Let's get the people in here. Go ahead and share the live, right? I know I haven't been as visible as I needed to be. I'm coming. All right. My life is a process at this point, but I'm going through the process, and I appreciate y'all that's going through the process with me. So come on, check in with your green heart. Happy Valentine's Day, love. Happy Valentine's Day. I already got my gift. If one thing I know about my mama, she gonna get me a gift, right? And I got her one too. But check in with your green hearts. It's Mental Health Monday, right? Go ahead and share this live. Go ahead and get your friends in here, your family members in here, and go ahead and get your pen and paper, right? You know you don't come into the Lightroom without a notebook, something to write with, something to write on, so you can take notes. The goal of the Lightroom is to educate, empower, and equip the black and brown communities, right? Happy Black History Month. The black and brown community with the knowledge, the tools, and the resources so that they can advocate for their mental health, right? There are so many available, not just available, but free resources. I was at Houston-Tillotson College. So it's a HBCU, right? Having my first official HBCU experience. And I met a group out there in Austin, Texas, who do black men's mental wellness for absolutely free. Prostate cancer checks, right? Mental health resources, counseling, all that stuff for free. So when you come into the Lightroom, okay, just know when you leave here, I expect you to flip on that switch and get your mental health together. The people that come in here, now some of them, they're going to have paid services. But listen, if you're ready to take care of yourself, you're worth the investment. So we're supporting black businesses. Also, this is Black History Month, right? Next Monday, the next Monday, I'm going to have on my We Enjoy Being Black, right? Shout out to Vincent Webb for my shirts, like one of my favorite shirts. And I always get compliments. But go ahead, come on to the Lightroom, check in, so we can get this live rolling. We're going to talk about massages and mental health, right? Sometimes you got to rub that pain out. I wanted to be very careful when I said that. You want to rub that pain out of your body, okay? And people go through things and they brush it off, and you go through something else and you brush it off, but guess what? That pain stays in your body, and you got to get that out. It's going to come out one way or another. I would rather you get it out with a professional, right? I would rather you get it out with somebody who understands what it looks like when you have trapped emotions and you have trapped feelings, and they show up as tension knots in your legs, your arms, your back. You know, that's why I have tonight's guest, so you will know. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her in because, listen, I tried the whole 30 minutes, right? The lives were going to be 30 minutes, but listen, nah. We'll take the time we need to make sure you get this information. So go ahead, check in with your green heart so we'll know that you're here. I'm going to go ahead and invite my guest in so we can get this thing rolling because it is a Monday night and tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Let me find you, girl. Let me find you again. There we go. So as she's coming ahead and share this this live all over your Facebook page, share it on your Instagram page, share wherever you need to share so people can get in here and hear this information. I don't see my share app. I can't tag share. What do you mean? I seen the one you shared yesterday, Mom. And if you're sharing from the live right now, look at the bottom. It should be the 1, 2, 3, the fourth little icon at the bottom with a person and an arrow. That should let you share from here. But other than that, I'm not sure what happened. So let us know if we have an echo, right? And if we do, guess what? I got my material. Don't even worry about it. Just let me know in the comments if we get an echo when this thing starts rolling. So if this is your first time joining the Lightroom, welcome. I hope it's not your last time. Last year, we got started a year ago. We got started with this thing. I created this space so we can talk about suicide because that was the event that we were experiencing at the time. And I wanted to create a safe space, a resourceful space for people to talk about those feelings, you know, of confusion, frustration, or whatever they were with the event that had happened. And after that, this thing turned into what it has turned into. Now I have a jacket, I have a shirt, and I have guests. So if this is your first time in the Lightroom, welcome to the Lightroom. We're here every other Monday at this point. Last year we were every Monday, but this year we're going to do bi-weekly. We're just going to try this thing out and see how it works. But I appreciate feedback at any time. I don't see it, but I will keep it. Okay, cool. But my guest is here, right? And so y'all know how I do. I tell you how I met the guest, and then I allow them to give their own introduction about who they are, and of course the services they provide, resources, and all those good things. But we have tonight Miss Hunter, right? Professional, you know what I'm saying? Professional rub you down. You know what I'm saying? When I moved to San Antonio in 2021, I got on Groupon. Now, I didn't know her then, okay? I did not know her. But I was like, man, I need a massage. I just need to find a way to get this tension and stress out my body. So I found a masseuse on Groupon, and he was awesome. Shout out to Ryan. And I was going to Ryan every month. Every month. Well, I haven't been going to Ryan this year. Well, the latter part of last year or this year. And I'm telling you now, I can feel the difference. I can absolutely feel the difference. So I am an advocate for massages. One, because they feel good, and two, because they help you relieve the tension that we store up in our bodies as we go through stuff and we keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing through life. But I just wanted to let y'all know I'm an advocate for massages because I get them myself. But I met her through the San Antonio Facebook. We have a couple of San Antonio groups. But when I moved here, I wanted to connect to people, right? Just like I did in Memphis. Wanted to connect to people, my people, because if you've been here, then, you know, we got to find us. And so I joined this group, and she was in there. And we connected on Facebook, and she can probably tell you if she wants to how we actually got connected in that way. But we've been connected since then. We actually met each other last year at another girl's birthday party, and the energy was great. You can tell a authentic person, a good person when you meet them, and they don't even have to open their mouth. And that was the experience that I had with Miss Hunter. So I'm going to allow her to introduce herself to y'all, let her tell y'all her business, how she want to tell y'all. But that's how I met her.
Okay, hi everyone, how are you doing? This is my first time getting involved in this live stuff. I'm usually behind the scenes and everything like that. So I'm just trying to get in there and see how it works out for me. But as Ms. Marquita said, we met each other first of all the way. I noticed her first. I'm gonna say I noticed her first. We were in the group and she was talking about some mental health things, and I was like, whoa, you know, that's really important. We need that. We need that in our community. We need support for our Black men, for our Black women that are going through mental health problems. So I was like, I'm going to follow her. So I started to kind of like follow her. I was one of those creepy people that was trying to see what she was doing, paying attention to her, and watching all of her videos and watching everything that she was talking about every Monday about mental health. So I was stalking her first. And so it just so happened like that we ended up at a birthday party together from another member in the group. And when I saw her, my eyes lit up big. I was like, it's her. Like she was kind of something. And when I saw her, I didn't know she was but I was like, I know you. And she was like, yeah, you know me? I was like, yeah, I know you. I've been following you. And she was like, oh, okay. So I was really excited to meet her. And I had to tell her everything about myself. I was like, I'm in massage therapy and I definitely like to help people, you know, with their mental health and with somatic massage. So I was really full of energy when I met her. And I was just like, yeah, I love everything that you do. So as I said, that I've been a massage therapist for going on 15 years now, going on 16 years now. So I've used massage therapy for myself, not just for clients, but for myself. I kind of ventured off into my massage therapy, getting a little deeper into it, and starting to connect massage therapy with breath work. And it's more, I do the pranayama breath work, and I also do meditation. And it kind of geared for me doing massage therapy because I started to learn that our emotions and things that we go through in our in life, they're not just mental. You know, a lot of times it starts with the mental, but then, like she said, when you don't address it, it gets stuck in different parts of the body, and you can kind of notice it after a while, or even I'm going to tell you, not it's not just a subtle notice; it's going to be a loud notice.
Yeah.
You're going to start to get sick.
Yeah.
Your body's going to start to deteriorate. Like she said, she started to notice after a while, and I doing a massage. Sometimes it's just being nauseous. If you notice that you have stomach nausea, sometimes it can just be just the different things that you're going through mentally that you're not addressing. You know, we're really good. You know, when clients come in, the first thing they'll say, well, I'm not stressed. And I'm like, we don't want to address it as stress because society shows us so many times that we're supposed to have this going on. So we don't want to address it as stress. It's like, no, I'm not stressed. I'm doing the normal things I should do. But is a lot of things that they're saying that normal society does. It is stress. We go through stress every day. And so we become accustomed to this stress and these different emotions that are going on with us. And we try to stuff it down inside of us. And then it comes back out later.
Listen,
So
what they say is going to come out in the wash or it's going to come out in the rinse, but it's going to come out. It's going to come out. And again, so thank you for, she's going in and out. Okay. So we're going to just slow it down just a second to make sure our audio stays clear and good.
okay.
So it says that you were going in and out. So is that volume wise or like was she going low in volume or we just couldn't hear exactly what she was saying? Because it's always clear on my end. Like whenever I'm in this moment, I can hear and I can see really good, but the guest sometimes the connection is I'm not sure what happens out that way. But I can hear fine. Everything's coming clear for me. But I just want to make sure we address some of the audio issues and sound. And while we do that, so again, if it doesn't get better, if nothing changes, then again, let me know. It's clear for me. Okay, thank you, Miss Lisa. It's clear for her. Okay, good. So hopefully, you know, the sound will continue to stay clear and will be good. But the words were cutting out. Okay, so it may be connection too, Mom, but Miss Lisa said it's good for her. So hopefully we get this good enough that we can take away the nuggets, the high points, the good stuff. Don't cut out on that. But it's Black History Month. First of all, it's Black History Month, right? And let me just back up a little bit. And this is gratitude is the word I want to say. You know, folks say not to toot my own horn, but I'm going to say this is gratitude for the introduction of how you met me and like how we actually connected. The work that I do is very, very, very important to me. It's my heart space. And it's not something that I take lightly. So for you to have noticed and, you know, went back and watched videos and followed me and been excited to see me, hey, we on our way. You know, we on our way. So I appreciate you sharing that out loud as well, because, you know, sometimes also in the work that we do, anytime you're helping people and you're giving out from yourself in such a way, it can be draining. You know, you can often wonder, is it even worth it? You know, massages for our community was a luxury thing, right? It wasn't even something we really did, right? You know what I'm saying? If you marry, you might get your husband to massage a cramp out of your leg, or your wife to massage a cramp or something, but like just actually going to a masseuse with the lavender and the music and relaxing and allowing our bodies to be taken care of. It just wasn't something that we've done. And so I felt it was very important in this space. And not to mention, this is love month, right? Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. And if y'all been arguing, if you're in San Antonio, because here's the other thing. I know a lot of y'all are in Memphis or in Mississippi, but she's in San Antonio. So if you are on this live right now and you're in San Antonio, or if you're coming to San Antonio, right? At the end, she's going to give you her website. Go ahead and look into her services and book you an appointment. And if not with her, if you are in Memphis or Mississippi, there are masseuses in the area. I got massages in Memphis as well. So I can make a couple recommendations out there. But I just wanted, again, to make sure that we were clear about why this was important, why this is a part of mental health, because the body will keep score. The body will remind you of a traumatic experience, or even if it wasn't traumatic, like a physically aggressive experience like pregnancy, right? All the changes we go through with pregnancy. And how can what are some of the ways that massages are beneficial? Number one, just for the human body, and number two, if you have an experience like pregnancy or something like that.
Yeah, I have to start back by going back exactly what you said, how the body traps trauma. And I'm going to reiterate, sometimes we don't see it as trauma. It's something, just you say, as simple as pregnancy. Maybe even your first time learning how to ride a bike. You know how we rode a bike and we fell and we hurt ourselves?
That is traumatic.
Yeah. And then you're like, oh, I'm okay. So what happens then, going back to pregnancy, what happens then is that society teaches us to make everything normal that was never meant to be normal. So women don't realize that when you're going through pregnancy, when you have a baby, that is, your body has to make a really big change all at once and then come back down to homeostasis. So a lot of times whenever we go in there, we have C-sections, you have emotions attached to your C-sections. After you give birth, you may have a tear, a rib, or you might not feel comfortable about yourself. But at the time, you're not worried about taking care of yourself. You're worried about taking care of baby and everyone else. So you push through it. You don't pay much attention to it. But later on, you're wondering why, you're just always so sad and you feel so empty. And it's like, but I don't feel it here. But it's just like whenever someone goes to touch you anywhere, or your partner goes to touch you anywhere near your stomach, it's just like you push them away. You're like, no, I don't really, want you to, but you never really focus on the fact that it's a trauma attached to it, because maybe you've had a C-section, or maybe just as simple as when you were given delivery, you felt rushed, or you felt pushed, or you felt like someone didn't pay attention to what was going on. And that sticks with you. The body will tell you everything that happened to you. One of the things that I've learned as a massage therapist, a lot of times when we go into places, I explain to the clients that, it's called guarding is what our body does. And what it means by guarding, a lot of times the way we guard ourselves is either we'll cringe in. So if you find an area of your body that you're drawing in, that's one of the ways that you guard. Laughing a lot of times is guarding. I'm sorry about that. You'll find out if a person touches you on your side and you get really, really ticklish when they touch you there, being like that is a way to keep you from having them access that. So you start to laugh and giggle, and you wonder why you're so guarded or sensitive in that area. It's because it was a traumatic experience that happened along with it that you really didn't associate in that manner. Or if you have pressure or pain in areas, I'm going to say like the bottom of your foot, a lot of times you get a pain stuck in the bottom of your foot and you're like, it's just really tender. I don't know why it's so tender. And then again, like I said, with the stomach, it's like, you may not mind having someone touch you there, but it's still tender. And it's maybe probably been about like 5 years and you're still really tender there. And it's like, I'm wondering why I'm so tender there. But then whenever, as a therapist, I start to hear the stories, I can hear the trauma, but they don't realize it's a trauma there. So when I asked them, is it okay for me to work the stomach area? And I start to work on the stomach area, a lot of times you get an overwhelming feeling of, some people get fear, and the fear comes from not knowing how to let go of this stress or this pain or this emotion that they've held on to for so long. So
Wow.
they're kind of like scared at first, like, what are you doing to me? You're
Wow.
doing
What are you
something
doing to
to me
me?
that, yeah, that's different than what I've ever had happen to me before. And there, then I let all my clients know this is a safe space. At any time you're able to tell me this is uncomfortable to you, I don't want you to continue doing what you're doing, or either you can cry, whatever you need to do, because I use a lot of pranayama, the breath work, the breathing. And so my first thing is to let them know this is your safe space. I am here to assist you along the way, not the opposite way around, not to force you into anything. So sometimes you get fear, and they'll explain to you, this doesn't feel normal. And so then when I express to them what's going on, it's addressing something or a feeling or emotion that you had stuck inside of you for a while. They'll either be like, okay, I'm ready to address it, or I'm not ready to address it. And usually if they're ready to address it, we'll move forward. Sometimes it goes as simple as, like I say, crying. I've had lots of clients cry during session with the somatic massage, just
'Cause
releasing.
that's
And
what
one
I've been asking
thing,
about. That's what I'm coming to see you for.
yeah,
That's what I'm coming for.
and sometimes it's not even a somatic session. It never even was intended to be a somatic session. It's just that they didn't know they were holding on to emotions in that area. I'm gonna go back to say, like, one time I was actually working with a minister's wife, and I tell you, that's a hard duty. That's a big duty to be in any kind of authority figure. She's a minister wife, so she was a minister to other women all the time who were going through so many things. And her job was to just hold it together all the time, keep it together and hold it together. And when she came in to get she was just coming to just kind of had, like you say, a luxury, because we were taught it was a luxury. We were
Mm-hmm.
reintroduced to massage as a luxury. Because way back before then, massage was used for medical use, but we were reintroduced as only the ones that can afford it could get it. So she was coming in for a luxury massage. But I noticed right away that she was really drawn in. She had a lot of
Mm-hmm.
she was really regal, a very beautiful woman, very nice woman, but I could still tell that she was just really heavy right here in the chest.
Yeah.
And so as I started to work with her chest, because I could see that's what she was taking in, all of the troubles from everyone that she was working with, and she was holding on to it. And as I was working with her and I started to work around her chest, it was more like she was telling me, oh, this is, I'm not, this is kind of feel kind of uncomfortable or weird. And then I expressed to her, I was like, well, and I use the words that help people feel comfortable if they're not doing a somatic massage. I say, well, a lot of your tightness and a lot of your stress is located in your chest.
Mm-hmm.
So right now it is uncomfortable. But if you don't want to work in that area, we don't have to work in that area. And she was like, well, I do have a lot of stress in my chest, so we'll go ahead and we'll work the area out. So the more I got into working the area for her, like I say, she had a big sigh, like, and she began to cry. And she explained to me, she said, I don't even know why I'm crying. I don't know why I'm so upset. And she wanted to apologize. And I was like, you don't have to apologize right now. I said, this is something you needed. Your body needed this. Your body
Mm-hmm.
has been trying to get rid of all of this that you've been holding on to for so long. So like I say, you have fear at first because people are so used to holding on to it. Then, like I say, you have the tears. They're just being able to release. They're finally like, I'm finally able to release this and let it go. And then, as I always explain to you, sometimes you get the giggly, the laughing Nancy's, the gigglers that's just laughing all over the place, and I can
I
tell
hope I
right then and
laugh.
there.
I don't know. I might do both, but I hope I laugh. I can do both
You
though.
get those that laugh, and it's like you can't even touch them at first because they're like, laughing like they're like, no, I'm just really really ticklish here. And so then I have to explain to, I really don't explain to them. I already know what's going on. I'm like, okay, they're really going through this area. So I usually kind of question around. I'm like, hey, did you fall on that area once before, or did you have like a parent or someone touch you in that area once before that you really didn't care too much about? And so then eventually they'll be like, you know what? This
Gotta
happened. And I'm
bring.
like, I kind of knew it. So for me, I'm going to tell my own personal story. Like when I was little, my older brother, he would tickle us, and he would tickle us under our arm, and he would just tickle us, tickle us, tickle us till we couldn't breathe or till we wet ourselves. And so I wouldn't say that for me, it wasn't like so traumatic, but now if a person tries to like, tickle my arm, I'm automatically like, no, don't, and I'll laugh. But then I realized I was just a child when he was doing it. He wasn't doing it to harm us, but my body took it automatically as I needed to defend myself. So I related it to other people. I say sometimes it's not even something really meant to harm. Your body just took it as I'm going to defend myself, because back then, like I say, we had to, defend ourselves so that he wouldn't tickle us so much till we were like, couldn't breathe, what I'm saying, or wet ourselves or things like that. So once I realized it, then I was like, well, that's an emotion I had to release and let go. So
So
sometimes it can be something that's simple.
wow, that was a significant amount of information and very good information, and the simplicity of being tickled by somebody, and again, our body keeps score. Those things that we thought were no big deal, those things that we thought we would forget, or like you said, I was just a child. How do we learn to make our body feel safe, right? How do we make that transition from, like, no, I'm not in danger, right? I'm being tickled, but I'm not in danger. Like, you don't have to protect yourself. Because I know for me personally, I have to verbally say to myself, "You're safe."
You're safe. You're safe. Yeah, you know what? The biggest connection is, like you say, when your mind conceives something, it's hard to unconceive it. It's hard to change. So the first thing you have to do is you have to know, you have to really tell yourself, like you say, whatever it takes, if it takes for you telling, if it takes for you touching yourself, meditation, affirmations, you have to come to the conclusion that you're safe, that it's okay. That's what the breathing comes into effect really for me, because a lot of times your breath helps you to release things that you're holding on to. So a lot of times for me, it just, with my clients, I find out that when they're able to use their breath, they're doing really good. Because if you pay attention to people when they're in a panic or a stress or upset, we hold our breath.
Mm-hmm.
It's like,
Mm-hmm.
and so when you're able to let it go, you'll find out that a lot of it you're able to release. So it's basically finding a way to find comfort, not, and I shouldn't say comfort, finding a way to really find yourself in your reality. Not, and I don't want to say convince yourself that it's okay or convince yourself that what happened didn't happen. Is when you find peace within yourself, or you let go of the experience. That's what I'm going to say. That's a better way to say it. Once you're able to actually finally let go of the experience and say, this happened, but this is not me,
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
that makes a big difference. And so that's what I mean by letting go. I don't mean to deny that it happened to you, but that's when you can actually tell yourself, this happened,
Yeah.
but this does not confine me or make me who I am. I am still this fun-loving person. I am still happy. I'm still full of a lot of energy. That's who I am. You have to define who you
Yeah.
are. And so first thing is just acknowledging that it's there. That's going to be the first thing. You have to acknowledge that it's there, that you have something that happened to you that's there. And after you acknowledge it, then you notice it. Because after like you said, after you speak and you say, hey, I have something wrong with people whenever they touch me there. So,
Yeah.
and then
And
so
you're
then
triggered.
what's attached to this? What's attached to me having a problem with them touching me there? What happened? Sometimes we're able to remember what happened. Sometimes you really can't. But at least you can say, there's something attached there. But a lot of times, like I say, our body needs a way to release it. I'm going to go to something that I learned that was like, when I learned this, I was even like, wow. Um, in the wild, if you pay attention to an animal, whenever they're chased down or hunted or they have a traumatic experience, as soon as they have that traumatic experience after it, you'll see them shake, like really, really,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And so then, but the shaking that they do after that is their way of releasing all of the energy that was inside of them. So I didn't realize that we're actually supposed to have a chance to,
Yep.
shake and release and let go of trauma whenever we have it happen to us. And a lot of us don't. We just keep it to ourselves. We keep it to ourselves. So a lot of times, breathing, movement. There is this thing with yoga, and that's what yoga is about: movement, trying to help you to
Yeah.
release things. But there's some type of yoga called and as soon as I said that, and I'm gonna remember the name of it, but it's kind of like moving your body like a snake. So but it just teaches you how to flow and let your body go. And so that's one of the big things is that we have to learn how to, again, just allowing ourselves to move and release whatever was held inside of us. So you just have to find a way to release it. And sometimes moving with massage, that's what massage does. It allows the mind to quiet for a minute, and it allows the body to connect to the mind. Yeah, I know sometimes when I get into those subjects, I can go over the stuff.
Listen, I understand. I definitely understand. And I'm also trying to check the audio
So,
because some people have audio issues. So I have my iPad and I was
uh,
muting my phone to hear the iPad. It's still clear for me. There are some moments where there's a slight cut, but I can still hear it clear. So hopefully, in the playback, I don't know, somewhere, but I got my headphones, but it's clear for
yeah,
me,
yeah.
even on my iPad. And again, the shaking, yes, I can't remember where I saw it at first. And I'm gonna tell you what I talked to, I really believe, because I lost my father in November of last year. And that was what I experienced at the funeral. Um,
Mm,
my emotional release was just that, like
yeah,
the whole body shaking where it looked like a seizure.
yeah,
I knew it wasn't a seizure, but it was just the release of all of the emotions that
everything.
were inside of my body. Because for those 2 weeks, like I was empty, I was, absent. But on the day of the funeral, like it just all came out. And that's how it came out. And I really believe that's what's allowing me to grieve or go through the grieving process. Sometimes as calmly as like it's almost scary how calm I am in this process. I'm like, because like I told my therapist, I just don't want to wake up one morning and then like, oh my God, wow out. But I really believe because I didn't hold back and I allowed myself to be
Yeah,
present in that process, even to that point of, after that experience, that's literally what happened. My whole body was just like in a whole convulsion. But after that, I'm able to be present, through the rest of this process. So again, the reason that we're here tonight and the reason that the massages have come up, because I know, just like what somebody has said, what you experienced a long time ago, you may suppress it. I'll say it that way. You will suppress it, but your body won't until you find a healthy way to release it. And so sometimes that's my frustration with our culture
yeah,
when it comes
yeah,
to dance, right?
yeah,
Dancing is a constructive way. We can't help it that we're blessed the way that we are, but dancing is a very constructive way to release stored up energy.
yeah,
I know, yoga has its connotations or whatever, but the fact that a lot of times in our cultures, especially women, we're not
yeah.
allowed to just let out, like you said, let our bodies
Mm,
flow and
yeah,
move with the energies that we feel just to release what's on the inside. is actually doing more harm than good to us. I cannot. That girl says strip.
Especially black women, we have
Hey,
to be
Nancy.
careful how we move. We have to be careful how we do our bodies,
Yeah.
because if we do it, it's too sexual, it's too
Yeah.
sensual. And
Yeah.
now that I'm saying that, the name of the yoga is called
Mm-hmm.
Kundalini yoga, but it's just
Mm-hmm.
basically being able to move your body. And like you say, in our culture, we were taught to dance and express ourselves, and even when they were going into war, they did dances.
Mm-hmm.
Going into war. But yeah, us black women, we can't move our bodies, because if we do, we too sassy. We got too
Mm-hmm.
much
You fast, all
attitude.
that good stuff.
Yes, you fast, and so we got to keep ourselves like this the whole time. And you know what? That's one of the biggest things when I work with black women. Black women are the ones that come in there. My black sisters come in there with the most
Yep.
stress, and they'll tell you, "I'm not stressed, girl."
Yep.
I'm like,
Yes,
"Girl,
you
you
are.
stressed." I'm like,
You need to
they
turn
come
some
in
music
here,
on and move your body.
their bodies be
Yeah.
so rigid. It's
Yeah.
like they holding on to the world. I'm like, please just let
Literally.
it go. Please, you gotta let go of this world. We can't carry this world by ourselves.
Yeah.
We got to
Wow.
let it go. Breathe, sister, breathe.
Breathe, sister. Listen, y'all, I don't know what parts of this you are hearing, and if you're hearing me clearer than her, what we're saying is you got to move your body. You have to release this energy, this stored up negative energy, and sometimes the positive energy, because you can get so excited, like the excitement got to go somewhere. But there's nothing wrong with listening to your body, right? Because, with the Kundalini and certain types of dance, your body will your mind, your inner parts will tell you which way to move your body and how to sway your body, and like the connection between the inside of you and the outside is divine.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to stop. And then too, that leads to obesity, right? Because a lot of the young girls aren't dancing. Like, you don't have to go put them on a cheer squad. You can put them in their room and let them turn on the music if you don't want nobody to see them, and close their door, but allow them to release the energy that's stored up in their body, because children are stressed too.
Yes.
Children get stressed out too. And if you're not going to take them to get a massage or put them in sports, at least let them dance in their room. Knees won't let me. Listen, mine either, man.
Yeah.
My knees showing out, Nancy. Please won't let me. So you, again, massages and mental health. I hate that. I don't know what the audio is sounding like now. Again, it's good on my end because you've given out some really good stuff. And so you said about the first lady. I wanted to ask you too about like some of the most tense experience you've had with clients or whatever. But I'm glad you you brought up that whole first lady thing,
Mm-hmm.
church and Christians and believers, because as a believer, they turn the other cheek, to forgive 70 times 77, all those things that require you to either hold, if you don't do it right, you'll hold on to it, right? If you don't know how to release it, and or you will no, that's what I want to say. You will hold on to it because you haven't learned how to release it. And it shows up as resentment, it shows up as bitterness, it shows up as hives, it shows up as ulcers, tumors, all kinds of stuff.
Ulcers. When you say ulcers, don't you know that a lot of people don't realize, but cancer is a part of people holding on to something they wouldn't let go. And a lot of people don't like to hear that. They want to believe that that they want to believe because society teaches us that it came across because of some kind of sickness. But you'll really find out a lot of times when cancer patients go through treatment, after they have let go of what was going on, and you see that they're happier, they're lighter, they start to get better.
Mm-hmm.
Um, One of the things that I also studied is that a lot of our really deep sicknesses, going even from cancer, brain problems that we have, it's because you're holding on to something that took place. Like you say, it's a lot of times it's just bitterness and resentment that they're holding on to,
Resentment.
and they won't let it go. It could be just as simple as that. My mom and my mom had an argument, and from there I held on to that argument to today. It was 15 years ago, and I'm still holding on to that. But I can't figure out why I have chronic neck pain.
Yep.
I can't figure out, like you said, why I have ulcers in my stomach. But you still are upset at your mom from 15 years ago, and you won't let it go.
Yeah.
And then those ulcers turn into stomach cancer. But you're wondering, how did I get stomach cancer? 15 years ago, you had a problem with your mom, you never let go.
Yeah.
So, and then I even heard this one story about this one lady. She explained it that she was like, she went through cancer, but she was molested as a child. She went through molestation. And of course, throughout her life, she had a lot of different issues happen with her. Like, just life was really, really hard. Her life was so, so hard to the point where she ended up with cancer.
Wow.
And dealing with cancer. But it wasn't until the point when she addressed all of those different things that were taking place with her, even the molestation that happened to her as a child. The way that she addressed it, she said that it was never my fault.
Mm-hmm.
I can't change what this person does, but I can change how I choose to feel. And once she was able to change how she chose to feel about it, she was able to start to care about herself more. She was able to let go of what was going on, let go of the resentment and the pain, and started to take better care of herself. Just the different things. Because she said she started taking art classes, paint classes. She even did dance. She said she did she took dance classes. She said just starting to care more about her body and herself, she was able to let all of that go when she overcame cancer. And so back to what we're saying, when you mentally hold on to all of that stress and trauma, your body can't function the way it needs to function. Your body's going to hold on to it, and it's not going to want to function the way that you need it to function. A lot of times we don't believe that getting sick, our bodies were never meant to get sick. But we are God's creation. God already gave us the system, the answer to the system to fix it. We're really not supposed to get sick. And when you get sick, you should be able to, recover from it, is what I'm saying. But sometimes you'll find people that easily get sick. You'll find people that recurrently get sick, and they don't know why they keep getting sick. It's because something has happened or taken place that they are still holding on to. If they can get to that place to understand what are you holding on to and let it go, they won't have all of that. They don't want to get sick as you used to. People don't believe me when I tell them that I might get like maybe a little bit of allergies every now. I don't get sick. And thank God, I'm gonna say thank God I did not have COVID the first, second, or time. And I'm praying to continue to go on, but it's because honestly, every day I try to let go of whatever's happened to me, whatever took place with me, and I try to allow my body to tell me what I need. What is it? And, I'm paying attention to my body. And what I mean by I'm paying attention to my body, as I explained, me personally, I do meditation. I'm a big advocate for I will jump up and just scream. I will say, I'm not going to hide sometimes my family used to look at me and it's like, what is going on with you? But I'm not holding it in.
That relief,
I'm
I'm
doing
telling
Beyonce dance with everything because I'm not holding it inside of me at all.
I'm so glad that, you opened the space the way that you did to talk about the links with, the mental health and the physical health, because the two are connected. And we're not saying that everybody who has cancer is because they didn't forgive or holding on to some, because we also live in this place that we live in. And, we consume what we consume, and some of it we have no control over. However, that which you can control, you should. You should have control, like what you eat, like you said, the food. As I'm doing the research for myself personally, and just for the work that I'm doing, these doctors who are coming out of Western medicine, my dietitian, I was intentional about the dietitian that I chose, because the Western medicine model is only to treat the symptoms. But when you talk to those who have gotten out of that, the core of it is the first thing they tell you: watch what you eat, mind your mental health, because those two
Did you know your
are the most
gut
vital.
and your stomach, your gut and your mind are connected? Like
Yep.
your gut is your second mind.
That's it. But
Mm-hmm.
say I felt it in my stomach. But
Yes,
if your stomach full of, the wrong stuff, you don't know what you're feeling.
you feel
You know,
it.
you don't know if it's the bubble guts or intuition. So you really have to keep that space clear,
Yes.
and I want us with in this space, I want us to begin having this conversation. So some of us, we're not too far removed. We still have a chance. As long as you're alive, you still have a chance. But for those of us who have children, nieces, nephews, or whatever, I know that, back in the day, it was like, eat your vegetables, as if the vegetables had the cooties or something. But now, tell your children eat their vegetables so that they can, have become their full self, so they can, really have power. You can hear better, you can see better, you can feel better when you feed your body better. So as we come into this space, as often as we do, I want us to begin to have those conversations, with the generations behind us. And even those of us in the same generation, you know what I'm saying? Like you and I, because I'm coming for my, I'm coming because I understand my position and where I am. So I know what I need at this point. And I want us, again, massages were a luxury. And you've put a lot of things together. I don't know. I'm gonna go back and listen, y'all. But again, the audio has been clear for me. Hopefully, after the replay, when we get to the replay point, it connect. I don't know what it needs to do, but I hope y'all were able to hear the good nuggets that she put down. I hope you heard how important it is to learn how to acknowledge what has happened to you. Feel it, acknowledge it, and then give yourself the support that you need to get through and release it. Because you really hurt yourself more than once when it happens the first time, and then you continue to hold on to it because you relive it every single time. And so it doesn't do that person too much harm, but it really does do you harm because your body continues to, become tense. It continues to try to protect you. So, all kinds of things happen. So massages aren't just for luxury. They are for your physical, your mental, your spiritual, and emotional healing. All right. So we have, man, we probably need to have this conversation somewhere else at another time because you really open up a lot of spaces in this. Really open up a lot of spaces in. I do want to encourage people to get massages because massages are the bomb, and I've seen the benefits. But those things you said about giving those massage experiences that allow people to go deeper inside of themselves and go back to the space of when that hurt happened so they can really heal. That's what I want people to get to. That's what I want people to get to. Not just go and get a massage because it looks cute. No, allow this masseuse to help you work through those innermost parts so you can get the total healing experience. So I appreciate you being in the light room tonight. I have thoroughly enjoyed this conversation and this knowledge. I like it when I don't have to talk so much because that means the expert is experting, and I'm also listening and learning as well. Do you have anything that you want to give as last words? So tell us about, I know you're in San Antonio, but um, let them know because they might come out here and visit. I got family, y'all might come visit. Let them know how they can find you, how they can support you, and what services you have.
Okay. Um, the best way that, like she said, I'm in San Antonio, Texas. But me, I'm originally from Louisiana, so I do a lot of visiting in Louisiana. So if you can catch me in Alexandria, Louisiana, you can catch a massage. We're close to, and then I also visit Arkansas a lot. We're close to Memphis in Arkansas.
Come on,
So
Memphis.
yeah, you can always reach me at is MIO Moi Bella Amor Zion. That's the name of my business, Moi Bella Amor Zion Massage. And I don't have enough time to go into the whole explanation of the name, but it's Moi Bella Amor Zion. You can Google me. I'm on Google. I'm on Yelp. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on TikTok. All you got to do is look for MIO Moi Bella Amor Zion. You'll find me.
Like Glorilla, baby. She said, just like the air, I'm everywhere. She's everywhere.
You'll find me. And I really specialize in really somatic massage, but also because we have injuries, I do injury massage. So people that have frozen shoulder, you have rotator cuff injury, you have carpal tunnel. I work a lot with those with that area too. So my two areas that I really work with is for women, helping them to heal and overcome trauma. So the somatic massages, and just for the general public, other than just for women, I work a lot. Like I say, with the shoulder injuries, recovery of shoulders. I really, really love being able to have someone say, "Hey, I couldn't move my shoulder at first. Now it's like way up here." So that's one
Okay.
of the things I like to do. So whenever you're in San Antonio, just remember Ma Bella More Zion, which means my beautiful loving fortress. So and,
You heard it here
um,
first.
there you go.
You heard it here first. But thank you so much, Emricka, for coming on. We got to catch up because 2023, we need to be doing some things in the city. Just even after this conversation has really pushed me into the space of wanting to open it up because I've met some other beautiful women in the city who need this as
Mm-hmm.
well. So we'll be in touch.
Yes, ma'am.
That's all. Can you put that in the chat? Okay. So we're gonna. She's tagged in this chat. I mean in the title, but you want to go ahead and type in the name of your business. Even after I let you go from here, you still can type it in there because you'll still be on the live. But I'm gonna disconnect you. So thank you for again joining into the light room. Thank you for your knowledge, your wisdom. She is a trained, certified therapist, not therapist, massage
Massage
therapist.
therapist.
Yeah,
Yeah.
massage therapist. So, but always consult with your personal care physician or, whoever you see. But if you're in San Antonio, here's where you need to be. All right.
Yeah.
Well,
All
thank
right.
you, love. I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of your night. She has put her information in the chat. If you want to connect to her that way, make sure you do so. All right. You have a good night. I'm going to just go ahead and disconnect it.
Okay.
I guess. Okay, there we go. Feel like I'm back in the first day too. Okay. I don't know y'all with the audio issues, but I hope y'all got what y'all needed. Those that, that we could hear. Mama, I'll just tell you what happened, girl. So when you come out here, I'll book you an appointment. How about that? But she has her information in the comments. Oh, I can pin it. So I just pinned her comment. That's her link to her website and her services. But y'all, again, the goal here is to educate, empower, and equip the Black and Brown communities with the knowledge, the skills, and the resources. This is a resource, right? You may not want to go to therapy. You may not be ready for therapy. You may not even know why you would need therapy. This may be a good place to start, to break some ground, to open up some space, to let you know that there are some things going on with you because we should be living a healthy, healed, whole, blessed life, right? That's what we believe. That's what we read. That's what we received all of our life, right? And hey, sweet loves, that's what we should be living towards. But you have to play your part in this. You have to be careful what you're feeding yourself, and that's your food, what you're watching on TV, what you're listening to on radio, or even conversations. Sometimes you can pick up stuff from other people's life, and you got to be very, very careful with that. You got to learn how to release stuff and let it go. There's no need to hold on to anybody or anything that's not trying to hold on to you. All right. Y'all know I love you. Oh, wait. Let me tell you, I had a surprise, right? So I know you're not, even if you're not in San Antonio, listen, book you all, y'all book a massage. If you know massage therapists, first of all, ask them what their specialties are. Go ahead and start Googling and learning about the different types of massages. And I'm gonna put that in a post uh, probably tomorrow or later tonight of the different type of massages. Go ahead and start getting these things together for you. There are all types of resources. All right. All types of resources to help you. Mental health is not just about mental illnesses, right? Your mental wellness is looking good, feeling good, sounding good. Because we'll know how good you feel on the inside by how you sound when you open your mouth, right? And so if it's negative and bitter and resentful and hurt in here, then we're going to hear it outside of here. And so there are people that God has gifted, right? There are people that God have gifted in all types of areas to serve you. I want to let y'all hear my song, right? So my coworker and her brother. So listen, Facebook, They made this song for me, so I own the copyrights to this song. Don't try to. That's why I waited till the end. Thank you, Kimberly, for being here. I checked out some of the stuff on your page, so be in touch. But I want y'all to hear the song, right? So I wanted to have like a theme song or a song for the light room. And so I asked her, no, she make music. Her and her brother make music. And so I was like, hey, can you make me something for my live podcast? And they worked really hard on it. But let me tell you something. When I hear the beat for this song that they made for the light room, my shoulders start moving, right? I can feel it. And the song is called Mental Health, right? I hope you can hear it, but I'm gonna play a little bit for you before we end the live. I appreciate y'all being here. Up next, we're gonna have a guy that I used to go to church with, Ray. Listen, if you in Memphis and you have a brother, a nephew, a husband, a son, a black man in your vicinity who needs male support, who needs community, who needs accountability, who needs relationship, you don't want to miss this next Mental Health Monday. You do not want to miss accountability. You don't want to miss community. You don't want to miss honesty. This man, look, I ain't going to even, y'all be here. If you want to know all these good things about him, y'all be here. So this is the song. Thank y'all for joining. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. Take care of yourself. If you're not in a relationship with anybody, please don't allow that to get trapped up inside of you. Listen, sweet love, celebrate yourself. Whatever you would have wanted somebody to do for you, take some time and do it for yourself. There's absolutely nothing wrong with not having a relationship for this one day out of the year. Okay? Like, bro, don't do that. Because on the 15th, I'm going to buy all the candy on sale. But here's the song. I hope y'all can hear it. Let's go. Let's go. Let me know if y'all can hear it in the comments. Let me undo this because y'all can hear me. The song says, working on my mental health, doing better for myself, and I've been doing well, and I've been feeling well. That's the goal of the light room. Oh, you can hear it good. Let me run it back. Y'all make sure y'all share this live. Make sure y'all comment. Make sure I'm gonna engage more. I just had to make some adjustments in my life, but I'll be back in the social space. So when y'all see me post, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you share. But this is the Light Room song, working on my mental health. Shout out to Lex and her brother. They made this for the Light Room, y'all. Ain't that cool? Work on your mental health. Do better for yourself so that you can feel well. All right. I love y'all. Have a good night. Thank you so much, Emricka. We are going to do some things here in San Antonio because the people need what you have. Y'all have a good night.